A bit different today, a film recommendation, actually two film recommendations. Something I don't do enough of. I'm always telling you about books to read and stuff, and I love when I go onto Amazon and see that next to my books are all books that are recommended on the Velocity of Now and other places, and see that people who bought my books have bought these books. And I absolutely love that. I love the idea too that I can sort of give back to the people whose work has inspired me, even though some of them could be dead, but maybe their families are getting the royalties or something now. So I just love that idea. Film recommendations. The first film I want to recommend is a film. It's an Irish-made film, but it was set in Wales, but it was filmed all around County Wicklow. In fact, the train station at the beginning of the movie is the Dart station in Bray, County Wicklow, but just outside Dublin. And the name of the film is A Dark Song. This film is the most realistic and accurate portrayal of ritual magic ever presented in a movie. It is absolutely fantastic. It's also very moving and very beautiful in a way, even though it will scare the living daylights out of you at certain points. It correctly shows that the real purpose of magic is self-control, and the real purpose of a magic ritual is to control yourself within the protocols of the ritual, so you do not bring your own neuroses, pathologies, addictions and other things onto it. The two actors in it are outstanding, and it's definitely one of the best films I've seen in many, many years. I can't recommend it enough. A Dark Song is the name of the film. The other film I would like to recommend is a 1985 film called Life Force, a British dystopian sci-fi film based on a book by Colin Wilson, who you all know is one of my heroes. The film Life Force is significant in many ways. One, it deals with the idea of a space vampires, which is the name of the Colin Wilson novel, coming from another planet and entering the Earth, almost like a mythological or a folk. We're having literally a hurricane here. A folk return, coming back. Like, think of it, instead of it like a comet that comes to destroy the Earth every so often, it's an actual spaceship full of vampires. Now, it was made in 1985, really at the height of the whole AIDS thing, which makes it very interesting because it deals with these kinds of ideas of sexual contamination and how the actual say the vampirism is spread through a kind of an AIDS zombie type thing. Even though that wasn't really put into the book or the film on purpose, it just was one of those things that manifest out of the ether when these projects are made. It's very well done for its time. It's that classic British sci-fi element to it that you got in those fantastic 1960 films like Quatermass and The Pit, and then the 1979 film Quatermass 3, Ringstone Realms, and things like The Midwich Cuckoos, which was made into a film called These Are the Damned. The Midwich Cuckoos is another book you should be reading. So the two films are definitely worth watching. They're both classics. They're both, as soon as I saw A Dark Song, I knew it was destined to be a classic. It doesn't matter what it does at the box office now. That doesn't mean shit. It's what matters. What matters is the relationship it eventually develops with human consciousness as its reputation as a film develops. And I love the end of A Dark Song. It's very beautiful, actually, and it's really all about the journey back to yourself. And it's not on a schmaltz way or anything like that. And I love the Life Force because it really does show that, you know, humans can triumph, but our greatest weapon used against us is our love and our sexuality. And they're both fantastic. A Dark Song, 2016, Life Force, 1985. Both highly recommend these movies, and I will see you at the New Paracon convention, or a New Paradigms convention at the West Chase Hilton this weekend in San Antonio, Texas, if not interrupted by hurricanes, fires, weathers, and all this malady that's been created by the psychic disturbance in the field. Please check my new Velocity of Now on the Thomas Sheridan Arts YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Look after yourselves, and you know, feck 'em if they can't take a joke, but feck 'em more if you get yourself educated, well read, watching the right films, listen to the right kind of music, and thinking for yourself.